Good afternoon. This is a, what the heck is that? That's not what I'm Anyway, I like to come out here and kind of just walk around every morning. I call it puttering. Get this from Pat Battle from Living Web Farms. He says, cultivate the art of puttering in your garden. Why grow a garden if you can't enjoy it? But honestly, when you turn your brain off, in a practical sense, it actually opens your mind up to a lot of new ideas, what you can be working on. This is a really aggressive bondweed right here. Morning glory. But I'm leaving it for now. Just to see, I'm kind of having an experiment to see what it does with this plant underneath here. Got enough things to do today. But I'll probably be pulling that pretty soon before it gets into my pepper beds too far. Look at this Reaper plant. I had this old concrete reinforcing wire trellis, and man, gonna have to do that every time now. This is like almost 5 feet tall. Pretty cool. So, if somebody knows out there, please let me know. When you Florida weave, do you go in between each plant? Because I thought you just went around the pole and around the other pole. But I've noticed these ones right here are falling on top of each other in the rows. And I'm thinking about going around each plant kind of in a zigzag pattern, looping and coming back around the other way. Let me know if you know how to Florida weave. We tried to Florida weave our peppers. This is our first time. Mixed success. Mixed success. That was pretty big. Got some pretty big pepper plants, and the coolest thing about it is it's low work. So, gonna maybe work on this some today. Gonna mulch around. There's strawberry plants here. This is where I had some summer squash. Didn't do so hot. The vine borer was a little early for it. Now it's just weeds. So I'll probably mulch that too. Not sure. Might just overseed it. Kind of sad. I lost some strawberry plants in the weeds, but after doing this for a couple of years, I've learned there's some more important things in life than a couple strawberry plants. Anyway, there's a couple more rows to do here. This guy's really popping off. I think this is that's either a peppo, some kind of summer squash, or a cantaloupe. I don't know. These leaves don't really look like the other cantaloupes, but I have a couple weird ones. And then over there, the same thing. We'll just be surprised. I know it's some kind of cucurbita. Pepper's just doing just fine right there in the weeds. No sweat. Goldenrod's finally coming out. Probably gonna make tea out of this in a couple days, right when it bursts open. You know, when they're ready, the flowers mostly in bloom. It's not yet, but when they bloom, they will burst open. Little, spindly looking thing. Always check on the buckwheat flowers if you have any. For insect life, this is a massive, massive pollen producer. I just saw something flying over here. Oh, there he was in the back. Sorry, little guy. And this is just another example of something I literally just threw. I got at the grocery store. Bought at the grocery store in the bulk section. Organic buckwheat. And just tossed it around. There's another strawberry in the weeds. Next to what appears to be a watermelon. This brings me to another subject we can maybe talk about later, which is plants basic. You You really don't have to follow those rules quite so closely. I don't know why they tell you that stuff. Maybe that's just, I don't know why they're telling you that stuff. Because right here, if you zoom out a little bit, I've got all this stuff's growing in weeds. So first of all, what about the spacing between this and this? You know? But then you've got 3 productive plants. This was another buckwheat that's already gone to seed. And then just right here, I have an Aronia berry bush. So in this tiny little space, you know, I've got 4 plants and a living cover crop going. Don't be scared to put plants close together. You'll get a lot more out of your garden. Huge goldenrod. It'll make a lot of tea. But when it blooms, it'll be a lot more yellow. You'll see it from a distance. This whole thing will be bright yellow. I can't wait for these guys to pop up too. These are a real late bloomer. Pollen producer here. Jerusalem artichokes. Some sunflower seed I need to come get. Some kind of aster I probably need to identify. Just left it. I was mowing. I mowed all this with the scythe, and when I saw it, it was already about this big. I could tell it wasn't the same thing. Just mowed right around it. Just mowed right around it. These sunflowers, I just dropped sunflower seed in the grass. Because I was feeding the birds, and I started thinking, well, if I'm trying to keep these seeds to not germinate while I'm feeding the birds, that's a lot of work. Keeping my bird feeders clean. What if I just threw the seed on the ground, let them germinate, and if they came up to be plants, then that made more seed. And you know what? It's worked fantastically. You can see some more over there in the corner of the strawberry beds. Leaves are starting to fall already. It's just because it's hot. So hot. And dry. That maple tree knows it. So, I guess let's check this out. Did we get this far last time? Here's a bunch of southern peas I need to pick. I don't remember the variety. These are seeds I saved. I thought they were pink out of purple hull, but they're not. Something else. Kind of a brown and white cowpea. Wow. What happened here was I planted them, the cowpeas, and they didn't pop up. So I came in and I planted the watermelons right in the same row. Well, they did. The cowpeas did came up. But there's still a couple watermelons hanging on in there. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to save the seeds from these. And I'm just not afraid to just interplant stuff. Like I think if you save seed, you know, maybe you could get a watermelon that'll grow right in this. I can just plant this in watermelons and not worry about weeds. And I'll be feeding my nitrogen too. So, it's just an idea. I'm thinking about doing the same thing with cucumbers here. Let me give you an example. This cucumber plant seems to be not having any trouble. This one too. This one, oh, it's having a little bit of trouble. Oh look, it just sits right up on top of everything else. Sticks right out above it. This is the cucumber plant, and this is the cowpea. And if I could, you know, breed cucumbers, I could outcompete the cowpeas. Having them maybe slightly longer stems here. Well, I might just continue to interplant these. Yeah, I planted the cowpeas, and they didn't pop up. So I just went ahead and did cucumbers in this row. And, you know, sure enough, the cowpeas are just a little slow. I remember that. Because I literally just planted a row right here. And now they're all the way up this trellis. And it's starting to come up this back trellis too. And all the way in the middle. But you can eat the greens. And I am eating the greens. A little chewy if you get the big ones. Probably great for you though. Oh, look at this one. Look at this. So this is a Romanesco Zucchini. Some kind of cucurbita pepo. the easiest cucurbita, and I mean of the squash types. Moschata, Maxima, the Peppo's the easiest one. Man, just right in the. It was transplanted, but I mean, these are some big leaves that it's growing up over. This right here is a good foot up, you know. So these leaves just shoot straight up. Amazing plant. Definitely one to remember if you're growing this Fukuoka style without weeding. I mean, it's just got Ramita growing right in it. And it just does not care.